Hello guys, welcome to another video. So today is the start of the shower build. So we're just going to go and head down to Jason's to pick up some ply so that we can get these walls cut out and then start making a change to this shower build. So let's get on with it.
2,000 years later.
So here we are guys, back from Jason's. Finally got the plywood that we need to start the work on the shower. So hopefully this should be enough, if I've measured it correctly, to be able to get this all in. So the plan is that we're going to ply all of this, ply the back, ply here, ply the start of the wall as well, put it all in, seal it in, and then hopefully I'm going to be buying some sort of rubber waterproof paint that I can put on top of it, which is then going to fill it up, which is then going to make it watertight. Might completely fail, might work, who knows. Let's give it a go and see what happens. So that's us all unloaded, ready to go, tools out. Let's start measuring. So I'm going to work on this one first. So this wall here is the first one I'm going to try and get done, see if it actually works, see if it does everything I need to do. Now, because the ply that I've got is square, and this doesn't obviously match up, well, the van isn't square, so I've got to get the longest piece at the bottom, so the longest length, which to me will be here at the bottom, and that comes in at 85 centimeters. That's 85 centimeters. And if I go around here, now get the height. I want to get the highest point in the van as well, because I'm going to have to cut it. So highest point. Really hard to do this one-handed. 1 second, guys. So the highest point, as you can see there, is 170. That's from below. Again, really hard to do this one-handed. The highest point is 173. 173. So 173 centimeters height and 85 centimeters length. Let's go ahead, mark that out onto our first piece of ply, and then let's get that put in. Okay, slight problem. So, slight problem. Unfortunately, the wood in one piece, the ply in one piece, isn't going to fit. Crap. I didn't really want to have to join them. But because I built everything and left this to last, oh god, it doesn't leave me with a lot of room. So let me have a think about this and see what I'm going to do. So to get around this situation, this is what I've come up with. I'm going to bolt in the wood up to the middle line here. And so I'm going to cut the one piece to here, then do a join piece that joins onto here. I really didn't want to put a join in it, but what I'm going to have to do is at the join, I'm going to either fill it with silicone, or I don't know if I can get waterproof wood filler, but I can see I'm going to get some sort of filler, silicone or something like that to put on top of it to join that join before I paint it. You're obviously not going to see it under the paint, but that's just a bit of a pain. Oh well, needs must. It's got to be plied whether I decide to paint it or put something else on top of it anyway. If the worst comes to worst and I can't paint it and it leaks, I'll just have to go and get that PVC panels and put the PVC panels on top of it. That way it's not going to leak, but I'd have to have the plywood underneath it anyway. Right, let's get that done. So I want to avoid, I've not cut that into place, so that fits nicely there. But what I want to avoid is actually getting these screw holes that may possibly leak water later on. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Sikaflex, which is waterproof and everything ready here to go, to actually stick these panels on. So let's go ahead and do that. Wasp. So I'm not going to put too much on, just enough to stick it up and hopefully hold it. Coming out very thick today. There we go. Let's give this a bash and see what we think. A little bit of a line up here, so it looks nice and lined up there. Lined up there. As indeed. It's looking good.
A few moments later.
So, after a lot of faffing around, and the heat and rain and stopping and starting, I did manage to get one of the walls done. So there we go. That's the ply in, nice cut in there. Now, I have just stuck this on with Sikaflex because I didn't really want to have any screw holes in this, because if I do decide to just paint it with the waterproof paint, I don't want anywhere that there could be possibility of being a leak. So that's one side in. There's the join as well. I've put a nice bead of Sikaflex right along that join as well, so there's not going to be any sort of leakage coming through there. So something that should have really taken about an hour and a half to do has taken me close to 3, thanks to the weather. So, and that was one of the smaller walls. So let's now tackle this back wall, which is going to be a little bit harder as well, due to the fact that I've got to cut the hole also for the opening for the cassette toilet to come out. So let me get that one prepped and I get back to you and see how we're doing. So bottom half of that part done now. Relatively easy cut, it's pretty square. Now I've just got to tackle, before I can actually bolt this in and screw it in, I've got to figure out how I'm going to cut that hole there for the cassette to come out. So I know I said on this wall, I know on this wall I didn't put any screws in it to hold it in. For this one I put 1, 2, 3 screws here, not all the way in, but just enough just to hold it in place, because I'm going to go around the other side, open up the door and then trace around the hole how big I need for the cassette. So let's get around and get that done. So here we are, we opened up the door here and it gives us good access to the wood here. So all I'm going to do is stick my pencil in and just go right around to get the shape that I'm going to need for this door. Try and get it as straight as possible if we can. I'll be able to then take that, straighten it up and give a good cut on it. Right, let's get that done. Right, so now that we've got the board out, we can now see where we need to cut out. I'm going to straighten these edges up a wee bit, make them a little bit more things, just so I have a line to follow when I'm cutting with my jigsaw. Let me get that sorted.
A few moments later.
So, hole now cut and put in there, so we should have access to the toilet now. But let's go down and have a look and see if we can actually access it. It's going to be fun. Knowing my cutting, it's probably right off. Come on, David, have you done it? Oh yes. Oh yes. Will it come out? Oh yes. Okay, now I can't get back in. Oh, something's stuck in the hole. Oh no. Things have fallen through. How the hell have I done that? For some reason. There it is. For some reason, the shower has decided to pop through. I should go back in now. Oh yes. Look at that. Perfect fit. So now that I know that all fits and that's all working properly, we start on the top bit. But before that, I think I need to have something to eat. Absolutely starving. I think it's about 3 o'clock now here. I haven't had anything to eat for my breakfast yet. Right, let's get this sorted. I'll be back shortly. So another 3 years later, let's have. So we have now managed to do the back wall. Top bit was a lot easier. I'd say so this middle wall was probably the easiest wall to do because it is pretty square. There was hardly any cuttings or anything that needed to be taken. What I would say is that if you are going to be doing the mouldings in the corners like I have here to get around things, definitely invest in one of these. This is a scribe tool. It has made my life 1,000 times better. All you do is you put a pencil in here, you then plug it up here. You can get a piece of part. For me, what I did is I just got a bit of cardboard, stuck up the corner, put the pencil on it, ran it up, and got the shape that I needed for my thing, then transferred it onto the board so that I got a good tight cut all the way around. After putting all this on, there's been a change of plans. So, as I said before, I was just going to paint this all. I was just going to go and put a bit of rubber paint on it and see if that worked, but I've decided not to do that anymore. The van itself is just not straight, so when you're cutting the wood, you're always going to have those wee gaps, and I'm afraid that with all these little gaps and things that I've got coming up through the, like there's loads of little gaps here in the side, you know, at the bottom here, that's going to cause problem later on to make it waterproof, you know, make sure that the van's not going to leak any water. So I'm going to finish off the ply lining inside here. Once we finish off the ply lining, then I'm going to reevaluate and think what we can do. There was something that I was going to do originally, which was I had a bunch of old vinyl flooring left over from when I moved into my house, and I was going to vinyl it because that's waterproof. That stuff is waterproof. So, and I can cut that right up close with a knife, so I can put the whole thing on and then just cut it right into the corner, and then silicone, put a nice bit of silicone down it to seal it all in. I don't know, we can try it. It's an experiment at the end of the day. If it doesn't work, I can always just rip it off and go with the PVC panels. But again, I'm scared of these PVC panels. One, because they're so fragile and easy to cut, and easy to break, sorry, not cut. But also is the fact that you've got to get exact in the corners. These corners, you can have a corner like that with a gap in it. You would need it to be absolutely perfection into each corner. So it's water that it looks good as well. I don't think my skills are good enough yet to be able to get away with that, but I do know how to lay a floor because I lay the floor in my entire house, and that stuff's easy to work with. So let me finish off the rest of the walls. I'm not going to video cutting every single piece of wood. There's no point. You know how to cut wood, you know how to measure it. If you don't, and you want me to do a video on that, then please let me know. If you want my future videos to be more in depth and cutting and measuring and all that kind of stuff. This is quite a long job, and I'm trying to beat the weather. At the moment it was beautiful sunshine this morning, but now it is all we've got some blue coming through. It's getting very, very cast over, and over the other side there, don't know if you can see there, very, very grey, very, very grey, and it's going to start. So cut the rest of these next to these walls up, get them all in, and then I'll show you the end result, and that'll be the end of part 1 of the shower build. The next bit will be making sure that we can figuring out what we're actually going to put on it and how we're going to do it, and I'll show you how I did it. And there we go, guys. So all the ply has now been added to the shower room, ready for us to decide what I'm going to do with it. So there are little gaps here and there where I've added it in, but they're going to be filled in with silicone. And I've got this other stuff. It's called it's like a Sikaflex tape, which is actually going to go over every single join in here, here, before I put anything on top of it. I am thinking of using, now that I've seen it and I've put this all together, I am now thinking of maybe utilising that vinyl flooring I had left over and put that on there. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try it anyway. We'll give it a go tomorrow, see how that, if it doesn't work, then just take it off and put it and we go for the next thing. I've got this vinyl lying around, so hopefully I'll be able to utilise that, and that'll be able to give us do us a turn on here. If not, what else can I do? I think I might have to go for that. I might actually have to go for that PVC. Anyway, that's enough for today. Next video will be me actually doing the inside of the shower room. So let's go ahead and do that and see what we can do. So there we go, guys. That was part 1 of our shower build. I'm absolutely knackered after today. I was rushing to go and get that done before the rain started. So thank God we managed to get all the ply done. Next video will be the actual closing off of the ply, making sure that we get the vinyl flooring up to give that a go and see if that actually works. I had a couple of friends that said that might work. It is what it, at the end of the day, it's what we use in kitchen floors. It is waterproof, it's used in bathrooms, it's used in everything. So we'll give it a go. If it doesn't work or it looks absolutely terrible, then I'll be ripping it off and we'll be going with the PVC panels. But all we can do is try. That's the whole point of this. So thank you again for joining this. If you did find the video informational, or you like the content, then please subscribe, like. We're a small channel, but we are getting up there. Thank you very, very much. We're nearly at 10 subscribers, which is fantastic for me. Keep those likes coming, and comment if you want me to anything that you want me to add on to the video, any video that you want me to create, or even if you have any advice for myself about my van, about my build. If there's anything that I could do differently, let me know. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next one.